and thank you for coming. I'm Karl's brother Derek, which makes it rather obvious how we met. I can't remember it, but he's often told me how disappointed he was that his new playmate wasn't able to play with him right away. I guess that's why his first gift to me was a cold. My response, of course, was to continue being a newborn, drawing out how long until he had his playmate as much as possible. And that set the tone for us. We bicker, but eventually we cooperate, and even now we're no strangers to conflict. To the point, I'm sure Karl expected a more scathing speech up to this point. So, I was honestly surprised when I found out that he wanted me to be his best man. But I suppose when you can practically hold a conversation with someone just by growling, barking, and howling, perhaps with the occasional gesture, rude or otherwise, you must be fairly close and know them well enough that such small squabbles don't really matter. That in mind, I can tell you with certainty that Karl's changed recently, in a lot of ways. To sum them up, he's just never been more full of life than since he met Lilet, his beautiful, blushing bride. And look at her, isn't she lovely? And together, they're such a spectacular couple, as you saw in the video there earlier. I've seen pictures of them that look like they belong everywhere, from an old couple's nightstand to the cover of a romance novel. I actually met Lilet in person just a little over a week ago, though at the time I was so tired I can hardly remember much of it. What stuck with me were three things, each solidified over the following days. First, that she was as composed, dignified, and quick-witted as our mother, making it no wonder they got along so well. Second, she was a charming woman, always ready with a smile, proving with her and Karl's relationship that opposites do in fact attract. And finally, she was remarkably skilled at, and it's not the easiest task, keeping Karl in line. Or should I say on his leash? I'd say that's an apt statement, given his affinity with dogs, an affinity that stems from all the similarities he shares with them. You'll often find him laying about. He scarfs down his food, seemingly without end to his hunger. He's prone to mischief, is easily excitable. He has to be told multiple times to do something before he will, grudgingly and with protest. And if you leave something tasty where he can find it, most, if not all, will be gone by the time you get back. But he's also highly affectionate. He loves hugs, kisses, and back rubs. Belly rubs too, I imagine. He'll do what's expected of him once he knows it is, most of the time. And above all, he is fiercely loyal to those he loves and protective of them. Though he'll still snap at them if he's teased enough. I'm sure Karl finds this comparison largely unflattering, but he has no room to speak, as he once dubbed our father the royal dog. Speaking of whom, he gave me a message, and I quote, "Congratulations, Karl. Now hopefully it won't be long until you're not cluttering up my garage with car parts and my house with computers." Finally, before I wrap this up, I'd also like to mention a fun fact which I find rather fitting, and I'm sure many of you have already heard. You see, Karl was born on a Sunday, the 8th of December, actually. And as I understand it, the number 8 also represents new life. So as his life began on this day 34 years ago, so does his new life with Lilet start today. But since it is his birthday, we've arranged a little something to commemorate it. And I think I've rambled on long enough, so let me thank you all again for coming. Thank you, Karl and Lilet, for having us. May your journey together be as wondrous as the fact that you found each other. Everyone, to Karl and Lilet, congratulations to you both, and also a happy